Some cars are worth an early start. We don't normally start filming at dark 30, but for this one, we'll make an exception.
This is the last of the Aussie V8s. HSV's GTSR W1 represents the apex of performance car development in Australia. It's the ultimate Australian muscle car.
We've got just one day with the HSV. What do you do in one day with the last of the big Aussie V8s? Limited in both time and distance, we elected to take it out of Sydney into country New South Wales and to the spiritual home of the V8. This road to Bathurst is one of my favourites, anywhere in the world, particularly once you go off the beaten track, where the surface is bumpy, windy, and a great way to cut to the core of a car. Special is HSV's middle name, and we certainly did expect something special from the brand before the Australian Commodore was gone forever. We've got it. The HSV GTSR W1 is more than a car. It's evidence of a belief system that Australia can take on the world. It's something that we really used to see more so back in the day with inventors and creative people and engineers and things like that. This car is evidence of that. This is an example of a vehicle that really does push the boundaries beyond what we would normally expect into new territory. This is an Australian car unlike anything we've seen before. There are some seriously big numbers attached to this car. 170 grand for a Commodore, but what about 474 kilowatts of power? What does that feel like? It feels insane is what it does. It feels absolutely sensational. This is a life-affirming experience, this car. It is so great to see HSV going out with a bang. Almost literally, every time you change gears, you get this thunderous wallop from the exhaust. It is such an engaging car, this one. It's got those big, fat Pirelli semi-slick tyres that really let you hook into corners. It's got more balance than a regular HSV and a more focused driving experience than any other Australian car I've driven before. Of course, if you're going to go on one last road trip with the greatest Aussie V8, where else could you come but Bathurst, home of Australian motorsport and the birthplace of the V8 legend. Here on the mountain, the W1 feels like a caged animal. Limited to 60 kilometres an hour, you get plenty of time to take in the scenery, to comprehend the role that this place has played in establishing the V8 legend. The Aussie V8 is utterly entwined in this place, thanks to the heroic efforts of Australian racing royalty. Names like Brock, Johnson, Moffat, Richards, Scaife and Lowndes have taken plenty of victories here. Holden's factory team will soon switch to a European-built model with a V6, so the V8's days at Bathurst are numbered. That's a shame, as there's nothing quite like the rumble of a powerful engine like this. There's a few ways that you could view this car. I mean, you could view it as a last defiant act from HSV to say, see, look, we do build world-class cars. It is a mistake to shut all this down. This is a magnificent thing. Or you could view it as a celebration of the heritage that Australian muscle cars have. This genuinely is, by some margin, the best performance car that Australia has ever produced. It is an outstanding machine. I feel disappointed for future generations who won't get to know what it's like to have these sort of cars around, particularly available from new. When I was a little kid, I used to think it was nuts that Australia had our own tiger, the Tasmanian tiger, the thylacine. And I always found it very sad that it was extinct and that this animal had ceased to exist before I had a chance to get to know one. And I feel that that's a little bit like what the HSV is going to be like. There's going to be kids today and in future generations aren't going to have the opportunity to drive cars like this, which is really disappointing. This is something very, very special that we're losing here. The steering in this car, you grip this lovely Alcantara-clad steering wheel. It feels like something out of a race car. And when you throw it into a corner, it's just got so much front-end grip from those wider front wheels, the wider guards, and those super soft Pirelli tyres. It just hooks in unlike any other Australian car I've driven. It feels more like a Porsche than Holden. I mean, I get that the regular base model Commodore isn't really relevant to Australian families or businesses anymore. And I get that it's very expensive to build cars here, particularly when there is much cheaper labour overseas. I understand all that. And I understand too that if we were going to keep building cars in Australia, that they probably wouldn't be V8 powered rear-wheel drive muscle cars. Doesn't mean that it's not sad though. As the sun sets on our time with the W1, it's right to celebrate the final machine made by the Australian car industry, even if it feels so wrong to know that this era will be over in just a few months' time.
This genuinely is a special car. HSV made an authentic attempt to build the best performance car possible, and the GTSR W1 is the crowning achievement of the Australian automotive industry. It's a genuine, authentic attempt to build the best car possible. And as special as it is, one day with this car just isn't enough.